The world's tragedies often have images that end up defining them. A 5-year-old screaming in Iraq after her parents were killed by US soldiers. A starving child being stalked by a vulture during a ruthless famine in Sudan. A video released this week of an extremely emaciated polar bear has served as a similar purpose, as a rallying cry and stand-in for a largely unmitigated environmental disaster. Equals video, which he shot on a trip for Sea Legacy, depicts an emaciated polar bear, its coat patchy, seemingly near death on an island in a Canadian territory inside the Arctic Circle. It searches for food in a rusted garbage can and chews what Eccles said was an old snowmobile seat. And it struck a nerve. It was viewed more than 3.5 million times in posts on Eccles and National Geographic's Instagram feeds, according to metrics on the photo-sharing site, before picking up news coverage from around the world. Photo by Christina Mittermeier / This is what a starving polar bear looks like. Weak muscles, atrophied by extended starvation, could barely hold him up. Our @C_Legacy team watched as he painfully staggered towards the abandoned fishing camp from which we were observing it and found some trash to eat, a piece of foam from the seat of a snowmobile, as we later found out. People have asked why we couldn't help it, why we didn't feed it. In addition to being illegal to feed wildlife, polar bears like this one need several hundred pounds of meat to survive. They primarily eat seals and they struggle when they are stranded for long periods of time on land, without a sea ice platform from which to hunt. We didn't have a weapon and we didn't have any food for it. There literally was nothing we could do for him as we were hundreds of miles from the nearest Inuit community. What could we have done? What we did do was push through our tears, knowing that this footage was going to help connect a global audience to the biggest issue facing us as a species today. It is true that we don't know what caused this animal to starve, but we are certain that unless we curb carbon emissions, sea ice will continue to disappear and many more bears will starve. With these images, we want to wake the world up to the imminence of climate change and to how it will affect wildlife and people for decades to come. For solutions on how each and everyone can make a positive impact on this planet, follow me at Christina Mittermeier or go to @C_Legacy. #nature, #AllLovers, #BethEcage, #Face of Climate Change, #Stop Fossil Fuels, #No Arctic Drilling, #Tourithatide with @C_Legacy. With it Paul Equal and our entire team. Thank you at @Geo for helping us try and reach the world. A post shared by National Geographic, at @Geo, on December 9, 2017 at 4:14 AM PST. In his caption with the video, Eccles wrote that his team was pushing through their tears while documenting the bear. It's a soul-crushing scene that still haunts me, but I know we need to share both the beautiful and the heartbreaking if we are going to break down the walls of apathy, he wrote. This is what starvation looks like.